1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want you all to imagine yourself in an Italian village. This Italian village has a butcher shop, a bicycle shop, and a bakery, just to name a couple little things. Now imagine going to each of these shops individually instead of going to one big place. Wouldn't that be great, right? That's because we are supporting small local businesses instead of big chains. According to Alex Merkovich, 86.3% of small business owners say that they make less than $100,000 a year, which means they want to go to the consumer. They don't want the consumers to go into the big stores. They want you coming to them, and they are willing to take the sacrifice, monetarily speaking, to make their consumers happy. And then also, more than 70% of small business owners rank their happiness level at a 5 in a 1 to 10 scale. So what does that mean? That means they're willing to sacrifice their happiness and their well-being for the satisfaction of their customers. This meaning that they're going to go to these specialty shops, like I said, a bakery, a bicycle shop, before you go into the big chains. They want you to come to them, and they are willing to sacrifice their happiness. So today I'm going to be talking about why you should be shopping locally and avoiding these big chains such as Walmart, Target, grocers such as Publix and Winn-Dixie. So the first thing I will be talking about is shopping local. Where does shopping local put itself in perspective to the bigger retailers? Where does it stand in competition and the different experiences that you can have that you wouldn't have in a Target or at a Walmart per se? The second thing I will be talking about, shopping local. How does shopping local help you in the community? And we will be looking at a graph that will illustrate this. And then third and finally, shopping local. What happens when you do not shop local? What are the consequences if you don't shop locally? Alright, so the first thing, shopping local. Where does shopping local put itself in perspective to shopping bigger retailers? We're going to be looking at inoculation, or the misconceptions and then the reality of things. What do you think really would happen, but what is the actual experience overall? So A, shopping local costs too much. It is much cheaper to go to my favorite chain store and buy whatever I need from there. So this means going to Target or Walmart, you can get your phone charger, you can get new brakes for your bike, you can go get some bread or get some water. But in reality, when you shop local, you may be spending a little more, but you are getting premium service and products that you wouldn't be getting at Target or Walmart. You're not going to get that individualized attention that every shopper or consumer needs. You can go up to somebody and be like, hey, I'm looking for a whole grain bread. Can you help me out? When you go to another retailer, they're going to just look at you and be like, they can find that themselves. That's not the case when you shop local. The second misconception, B, the owner of the small business will not want to talk to you or get to know you. You think that they're going to avoid you, they're going to step behind the counter and just stay there and be on their phone and not want to talk to you. But in reality, the owner of the small business will want to get to know you and talk to you, whether it be about what they're selling or not. They want to get to know the consumers, whereas cashiers and other people in big box stores will not get that individualized connection with their customers. There's no regulars. But when you shop small, you'll become a regular at these establishments. Then C, finally, the local shop at hand will not know my needs and wants as compared to a big box store. When you walk into a big box store, you can just walk in and somebody is usually willing to help you. And you don't think that for a small shop, a small business. But in reality, the local shop will actually be able to customize themselves to fit the needs of the consumers at hand. So let's say you're shopping at a bike shop, you want a new bike. If you were to go to a major retailer, they might not have the bike you want. But if you were to go to a specialty shopping small retailer, a local retailer, they can find the bike that you need. And this is all according to Cynthia Markinos from Medium. Then second of all, shopping local. How does shopping local help the community? We are looking at a graph according to Locals for Locals. We are examining 100% spent at a business. So 100% here. If you're shopping at a chain retailer such as Walmart or Target, $50 or $57 or 57% of your money is going away. They're taking away from your community. Instead, they're putting it into other places. They're not putting it into your local community. $43 is going to be staying local in the community. So this could be volunteering funds or really getting out in events into the community. If you look into a small business on the flip side, there's going to be a relationship here. 73% is staying local versus the 43% staying local with the chain. So if you were to shop local, more money, so 70% is going back to the community versus that 40%, which is a big margin. And the third thing we're looking at is to be shopping local. What happens when people do not shop local? This is fear appeal. What is going to happen if you don't shop local? There's a couple of things that are actually going to happen if you don't shop local. According to Stacy Mitchell, the money you have spent at a big box chain has went to paying for logistical costs, how the product gets to and from the store to the consumer and away from the consumer, labor, so the people that are there, going boop, 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 and scanning things at the register or helping you out on the sales floor, production, how much it costs to actually produce that item, or let's say a baked good, how much it costs to bake that donut from distribution to you to put it in the oven. And then marketing, just to name a few things. How are they advertising? That's all that comes at a cost. Also, by buying from a major retail chain, you are investing in lower wages and less local jobs. So let's say you shop at a fashion retailer. So let's look at Hollister or American Eagle, where they make a minimum wage. If you were to buy local, you would actually be participating in buying from business that pays their employees a fair wage above the minimum wage. You are not investing in that. And it's less local. You're going to a mall, you're going to a shopping center, instead of going to your local town plaza. Then finally, when you do not shop locally, you are feeding into a corporation where they may not be specialized in one thing, such as Target or Walmart. They're specialized in many areas, those being grocery, electronics, toys, apparel. But if you were to shop local, each little shop can be specialized to you. What do you need? If you need electronics, you go to an electronic shop. Like I said, if you need a new bike, you go to the bike shop. You don't go to Walmart and you don't go to Target. So now I'm presenting my call for action. What do I need you to do? The first thing I would love for you guys to do is I strongly encourage you to make shopping local. Head to your local town square or main center of commerce. How many of you think you can do that?
Ooh, yeah.
Perfect. Right down the road, we have the Winter Springs Town Center, which has, Publix, a bigger chain, but there's also smaller restaurants and smaller establishments that can appeal to you, the consumer. Love for you to check that out. My second call for action is a more major call for action. As you're venturing out to shop local, think of how you could spend money more effectively by shopping local. So we can elevate going from Winter Springs to go into Park Avenue Winter Park. There's going to be more specialized shops. There's a specialized olive oil shop, various apparel shops and boutiques that you can find clothes that you want instead of investing in big chains where they pay their employees a low minimum wage, which is not acceptable. How many of you guys think that you guys can call for the major call for action in addition to the minor call for action?
Yeah.
So all in all, we have talked about 3 key things that come in terms of shopping local. So we have first shopping local. What do you think actually happens versus what is actually happening? So those misconceptions, we talked about those. And then we also talked about how shopping local helps the community. We saw that projection where 73% of 100% is going back to your community if you shop local versus that 43 percentile, which is not acceptable. And then we also talked about what happens when people do not shop local, the consequences. And now that's a major call for action that I'm challenging you to go in your community and shop around. Thank you.
Yay!
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.